Did an obesity webinar 2 years ago. We're rolling out a newer one, a better one, a faster one, a more efficient one. Why are we doing this? Because my people are destroyed by lack of knowledge. People are destroyed by lack of knowledge, and we've given up the ghost to the MDs. We've given complete, utter, total control to the medical doctors. And while we have given them complete, utter, and total control, obesity has skyrocketed. And now they will also tell you that, oh, it's bacon that's the cause, it's fast food that's the cause, it's Diet Coke that's the cause, it's the Happy Meals at McDonald's that's the cause. New York City passed a law, I think, that, outlawed the big gulp drinks. You can't have those. Oh, that's what's causing obesity, and it's nonsense. If you were an idiot, if you had the IQ of a sagebrush, and you went to a fire for the very first time in your life, never seen a fire before, never seen a house on fire, and you have the IQ of an earthworm, you would see that there's a lot of firemen around the fire. And then if the very next day you went to another fire and it was bigger, you would see more firemen. And then if the very next day you went to your third fire and it was even bigger and there were more firemen, because you were an idiot, it would be reasonable for you to conclude that firemen cause fires, right? The bigger the fire, the more firemen. You don't know any better. You're an idiot. You have the IQ of, a garden slug. And you see something and you make the wrong determination. You could also reasonably conclude that the sun goes around the earth. I mean, I see it rise in the east and set in the west. It's guaranteed that the sun's moving. But because you were an idiot and you had the IQ of, a spider, you would make the wrong determination. You would make the wrong conclusion. You would come to the wrong conclusion. Well, this is the situation with the training of the MD. Your medical doctor is not trained in medicine. Your medical doctor is trained in allopathic medicine. I'm trained in naturopathic medicine, right? There are many different types of medicine, many different types of dog, right? Different dogs for different jobs. Different types of medicine for different conditions. Your medical doctor, being trained in allopathic medicine, is trained in a philosophical methodology, a philosophical orientation, which is called reductionism. And reductionism is an old-fashioned, outdated, curious philosophy of medicine. It's based on the physics of Sir Isaac Newton. And it's incomplete when you bring it to bear on the study of the human organism, because the human organism is a holistic organism, body, mind, and spirit. It's a complex system of interrelated parts, which is fueled by the spiritual presence inside the human body, the soul force, which the MDs, because of their reductionistic training, do not believe exists. Your medical doctor believes that consciousness itself is a function of biochemistry, that if it can't be measured, it doesn't exist. Since nobody's ever dissected the soul out of a human being, it doesn't exist. So the MD is looking at the human body through a glass darkly. They are looking at the human body through a lens which is colored with prejudice that they don't even know is there. And because of this a priori prejudice which exists in the mind of the MD, they draw incorrect conclusions all of the time. So a medical doctor looks at people who are obese and sees that the people who are obese have a higher incidence of heart disease, a higher incidence of blood pressure, high blood pressure, a higher incidence of type 2 diabetes, and their health is just crap. And so they incorrectly state that obesity is caused by, that type 2 diabetes is caused by obesity. Obesity comes first, type 2 diabetes comes in second. Obesity comes first, heart disease comes second. Obesity comes first, arthritis comes second. Obesity comes first, high blood pressure comes second. So if you want to avoid all these things, you have to cut your stomach out. because that's the real cause of obesity. You have a stomach. And because we are unsuspecting, because we are trusting human beings, because we respect, I don't know why, but we do. We respect the intellectual acumen of the MD. We shouldn't, but we do. We don't question their prognostications. We do not question their determinations. We do not question their statements, and we should. This is an incorrect approximation of the data. This is an incorrect conclusion. Your medical doctor will tell you that these chronic illnesses, heart disease, blood sugar issues, bone and joint issues, are caused by obesity. They're directly related, and they are not. They are caused by the same thing that causes obesity. Obesity, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure issues are all different arms of the same octopus. If you trace them back, they all have one fundamental root cause, but the medical doctor is completely unaware of it. The medical doctor does not have this perspective. The medical doctor is looking through a glass darkly, and making incorrect conclusions, which are then bolstered by their contemporaries, by their colleagues. And so when 100 medical doctors all get together and agree that it's so, even though in point of fact it's not so. It's reality by consensus. And because most of us have been also let down by the educational system here in the United States and in Canada and in the European Union, most of us do not have the intellectual capacity to be able to question a medical doctor effectively and efficiently. We can't have a conversation with these people because we feel intellectually inferior from the get-go. So when you couple this lack of education, lack of intellectual stability, no grounding in intellectual understanding, most, what is it? What's the statistic? Are you smarter than a fifth grader, right? Most people are not. So the medical doctor uses highfalutin language, right? They call bone and joint pain arthritis. They call muscle pain fibromyalgia. And we all genuflect at the altar of their obeisance. It's nonsense. We feel intellectually intimidated by them, and because they also exist inside of a self-policing, self-regulating monopoly, what they say goes. They don't let anybody else onto the stage. They don't let anybody else play. They play with themselves. You know that, right? Medical doctors only play with other medical doctors. They don't play with chiropractors. They don't play with acupuncturists. They don't play with herbalists. They don't play with Ayurvedic practitioners of the oldest system of medicine on flippin' planet Earth. They don't play with homeopaths. They certainly don't play with naturopaths. And every time the naturopaths in the United States try to get one more state to license and regulate naturopathic medicine, the MDs drag out their dog and pony show and say, oh, those MDs, they're quacks. They practice substandard, dangerous medicine, and you shouldn't allow them into the state. It's a monopoly, a self-policing, self-regulating monopoly. And because they exist in the monopoly, and they have for 100 years, more or less, and because we all feel intellectually inferior, most of us don't have the intellectual capacity of a sixth grader, we give them a pass. We defer to their judgment in all things, and in all things they are wrong. Well, not all things. They got it right with the sterile technique. They got it right with Novocaine. They got it right with penicillin. They get it right with a couple of things. And the advances that have been made in surgery in the last 20 years are remarkable. If you have a bullet in your arm, heaven forbid, a broken leg, a bleeding artery, then the MD is exactly the right dog for the hunt. But if you're suffering from obesity, if you're suffering from heart disease, if you're suffering from fibromyalgia, if you're suffering from high blood pressure, if you're suffering from depression or anxiety or any type of arthritis, any type of blood sugar issue, any type of skin issue, any chronic illness, the medical doctor is the wrong dog for the hunt. You don't believe me? Look to see what's happened to your health and the health of your loved ones while you have given yourselves over to the tutelage and the care of the medical doctor. How's that working for you? Tonight, I'm going to pull back the curtain on obesity, and I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do to get on the other side of it, exactly what you need to do to support and promote your body's ability to have and maintain a healthy body weight. You do not have a fat gene. You are not depressed. You do not have a bad gene. You have a bad doctor. I'm going to tell you the secret to weight loss that not even Oprah knows, and she needs to know it. That's tonight, 7 o'clock Central Time, drglidden.com. This is an advocate-only event. You can join my Advocate monthly subscription service for $2 for 2 days, $2, and you gain access to tonight's webinar, drglidden.com. Click on the Advocate link and join the team. Let me introduce you to the undiscovered country of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Illinois is up next. Stick around.
This is Sharon Hunt. Before using Heart and Body Extract, my energy level was very, very low. I could only walk a few feet and then would have to sit down. I was tired and lethargic. But after taking Heart and Body Extract, my energy level has improved greatly, and I can now walk longer distances without getting tired so fast. Thank you, Heart and Body Extract.
Learn the secrets of an effective, natural, 100% organic nutritional supplement for a healthy heart and circulation at hbextract.com.
Your house is under attack. Every day, our homes and families are attacked by harmful gases, mold, and pollutants caused by everyday activities. According to the EPA, indoor air can be 5 to 100 times worse than outdoor air. And the American Lung Association states that poor indoor air can cause infections and chronic lung diseases such as asthma. Protect your family with a complete indoor air quality package from Wave Home Solutions. Wave ventilation units for basements and crawl spaces reduce moisture that nourishes mold, odors, dust mites, and expels gases and pollutants. Add the Wave 6-stage air purifier to get rid of the viruses, chemicals, and pollutants upstairs for a complete indoor air quality solution. A healthy home is the best investment you can make. Visit wavehomesolutions.com. That's wavehomesolutions.com or call 888-758-WAVE. That's 888-758-WAVE.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
You heard the discussions all over the radio. You couldn't believe what you were hearing. You trusted them. How could you have not seen the signs? You felt betrayed. Outrage set in. Your emotions began to consume you. Then, nothing. Now they're talking football. Days turn to weeks and months. Then, you've forgotten. But they haven't. They're still monitoring your every move. It's coming. Monitor blockitpocket.com. Or will you forget? You heard the discussions all over the radio. You couldn't believe what you were hearing. You trusted them. How could you have not seen the signs? You felt betrayed. Outrage set in. Your emotions began to consume you. Then, nothing. Now they're talking football. Days turn to weeks and months. Then, you've forgotten. But they haven't. They're still monitoring your every move. It's coming. Monitor blockitpocket.com. Or will you forget?
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, libertyoncall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to libertyoncall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's libertyoncall.org.
Let's go to Illinois and talk to Hattie about some hats. Hey, Hattie, you have welcome. Hattie, I think you're the first Hattie I've ever spoken to in my life. How about that?
That's a wonderful thing, because I think you're awesome. So, hey.
Are you a hat maker? I went to medical school in Seattle, and if memory serves me correctly, somewhere in Seattle, maybe in Fremont, there was a business called Hattie's Hats. No kidding.
Yes, there is. No, there is. There is.
Yeah, well,
there. Not mine.
Yeah, it's not yours. So, hey, thanks for calling. I appreciate it very much. How can I help?
Listen, I'm 63 years old, and I've been wearing glasses all my life since I was 2. And, of course, my eyesight has gotten steadily worse. Anyway, the pressure in my eye has always been high. So now the doctors want to put me on this medicine to lower my pressure. My question is, I listened to the audio, Seeing is Believing. But my question is, should I take the drug to lower my pressure and do the nutritional program, or should I do the nutritional program for real first before I take the drugs? What do you think?
Well, all right. So that's a great question. Okay. So, and we have to put this in perspective so that we understand what to do. It's a really good question. We have grown up inside of a culture of the MD. That's all we know all the time. All the TV shows that we watch about doctors, it wasn't about chiropractors, it wasn't about acupuncturists, it wasn't about homeopaths, it was all about the MDs, right? So we've grown up with kind of this background mental meme that the drug is the thing, and we consider a drug before we even think about anything else, just because that's how we've been educated, that's how we grew up. Now, remember, from our point of view, Hattie, it's not the gun, it's how it's used. It's not the drug, it's how it's used. So you can use a drug to help people, you can use a drug to hurt people. You can use a drug efficiently, you can use a drug inefficiently, you can use a drug to do good, you can use a drug to do bad. Right. So when we're considering, getting on the other side of a health condition, when we are considering attempting to cure a health condition, from our point of view as holistic physicians, the goal 100% of the time is to get the body so healthy that you don't need to take the prescription med. You don't need it. Because when you're healthy, you're in a state of balance and you don't have glaucoma, you don't have high blood pressure, you don't have arthritis, everything's good. So the goal 100% of the time is to get a person into the wonderful world of health so that drugs become irrelevant and unnecessary. Now, sometimes, depending on how bad a situation is, it's prudent to take a prescription drug for a little while you are at the same time pursuing the medical nutrition program, which is attempting to fix the problem that the drug is just managing. So, this begs the question, how bad is the glaucoma? Did they tell you?
Well, he didn't say I had glaucoma. He says it looks like I'm moving in that direction. my pressure is like in the teens, and it's like in the 30s.
Now, then you're good. Then you don't need it. If you had full-blown glaucoma, right, then you would need the meds for a little while. Same thing if you have, really high blood pressure. You would need blood pressure meds for a little while we're attempting to fix the blood pressure with medical nutrition. But in this case, you don't need it, Hattie. You don't need it. What you do need to do is, consider this a wake-up call, because you don't get glaucoma because you have eyes. You get glaucoma because your body is deficient in nutrients and because you're doing something wrong on a regular basis, and it's starting to hurt your eyes. And this condition is not going to get better by itself. It's going to get worse by itself, right? The medical doctors have no idea what causes glaucoma. Their treatment is only intended to manage the problem, to, manage the symptoms, while the root cause of the illness remains unchanged. So it's always better to attempt to cure the condition and root out the operative cause of the condition. So eliminate the 12 bad foods. Don't even look at fried food. Eliminate the 12 bad foods. Don't even look at fried food. Do one Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid. One Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid. One bottle of plant minerals. One bottle of selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And the Good Herbs Circulation Support, 4 bottles a month. Do that, Hattie, for 90 days and give me a call back. Stick around, folks. Kathy in Pennsylvania is coming up next. Let's go to Kathy in Pennsylvania and see what's cracking. Hey, Kathy, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hi, good morning. I first want to say that I really do like your new website. It's great. I've been listening for the past couple of years. I've learned so much from you. But getting down to my question, a friend told me that her son, who's in his 20s, was bleeding from the rectum and was told by his doctor that he's anemic. Can you advise?
Yeah, okay, so here's the deal,
now,
right?
Mom is on Tangy Tangerine, but he's not at this point, so I know that's somewhere where they need to start, so just advise.
Okay, so here's the deal, all right? So anybody who's bleeding from anywhere in the body inappropriately will be anemic, right? Because you lose blood, you become anemic. That's one of the first things to think about when you have anemia or when you have blood loss. I mean, that's what happens. It comes along for the ride, right? So the fact that his medical doctor told him that he's anemic is it speaks volumes as to the juvenile diagnostic ability that most medical doctors are coming out of the chute with. And I don't talk about this a lot, because we focus on the philosophical differences and the clinical treatment differences between the MDs and every other holistic physician in the world, right? But what we don't talk about enough is the incompetence of the educational system of the MD and the just really juvenile doctors that are being turned out here. And this is one of the problems with a monopoly, right? I mean, this is why, the rise and fall of the Roman Empire. The only reason the Roman Empire fell was because of corruption from the top down. Why was there corruption from the top down? Because it was an oligarchy, a dictatorship. Nobody questions the king. The king can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, however he wants, and nobody questions it. This is the problem. So, in any event, when anybody is bleeding enough on a regular basis to generate anemia, then we have to figure out what the heck is the cause of the bleed. So, if it's bright red blood that's coming out of the rectum, the first, second, and third thing to think about is that there's a hemorrhoid. Well, what's a hemorrhoid? Well, a hemorrhoid is a swollen vein. Why do veins get swollen? Because you have a stupid doctor. Veins get swollen because the circulatory system runs out of the raw materials it needs to keep the veins healthy. It's that simple. And what's the operative nutrient that's at play here? It's copper. Not enough copper. When veins lose their elasticity, they swell up, they'll burst, they'll break, they'll fracture, they'll bleed. And why is it? It's because they've lost their elasticity. Why have they lost their elasticity? Because there's no more copper in the body. Not enough copper, sufficient to the cause, plus a bunch of other nutrients, but copper is the main player. So, but I'm getting ahead of myself. This may be a hemorrhoid. It may not be a hemorrhoid. You can have an external hemorrhoid. If you have an external hemorrhoid, you know that you have an external hemorrhoid. You can see it. You can feel it. But you can also get an internal hemorrhoid that you can't see and you can't feel. The main sign and symptom of an internal hemorrhoid is bleeding from the rectum. Now, if it's dark blood like coffee grounds, that's a completely different situation, and that means there's bleeding higher up inside the digestive tract, and that speaks to something like colitis or irritable bowel or something like that. So this needs to be figured out. They need to stick a scope up the kid's butt and see whether or not he has an internal hemorrhoid, period. That's the first thing to do. Now, until he knows what's going on, what he needs to do is what everybody needs to do. Everybody needs to stop eating the 12 bad foods. Everybody needs to fill their nutritional tank up every day with the right nutrients in the right recipes appropriate for their body weight. Now, one other thing to consider here is that in order for the body to clot blood appropriately, it needs to have enough calcium. If the body doesn't have enough calcium, you'll bleed and you'll bleed and you'll bleed. I mean, have you ever brushed your teeth and your gums start to bleed, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's because
Right.
you don't have enough calcium.
Uh-huh.
It's not because the toothbrush is making friction that causes a problem. That's a sign and a symptom that you're deficient in calcium, because the simple, stress from a toothbrush should not be enough to make your gums bleed. If it is enough to make your gums bleed, you're deficient in calcium.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody that's bleeding from anywhere in the body inappropriately needs to be on extra calcium as kind of like a precautionary tale. So the recommendation for this kid would be the Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid, one of those, one bottle of plant minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and one extra bottle of Beyond Osteo FX. But for goodness sakes, somebody needs to figure out what's causing the bleed, right? Anemia is caused by chronic bleeding, and that needs to be figured out. It's that simple, okay?
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome, Kathy. Call me back with a report. I'd like to know what happens to this kid. It's remarkable to me that, this type of medicine still happens here. It's crazy.
Thank you for your insight. Appreciate it very much. I'll get in touch with you later.
Thanks for your support, Kathy. That's Kathy from Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen. She is one of the Dr. Glidden advocates, one of the members of our grassroots coalition of the informed. She's taken it upon herself to help people in her life who are struggling with chronic health issues. Is she a doctor? No. Can she point? Yes. Oh, you have high blood pressure? Well, that's horrible. I'm sorry to hear that. I know a doctor who says you don't need to suffer with that. What's that? You have type 2 diabetes? Really? You're taking metformin? Really? I know a licensed naturopathic physician with 25 years of clinical experience, more than 25 years of clinical experience, who says you don't need to suffer with that. If I send you a link to one of his videos, will you watch it? If I send you a link to a live health webinar, will you attend? If I send you a link to his radio show, will you watch it? Will you listen to it? Well, please. How many people in your life do you know that are suffering with a chronic health condition, ladies and gentlemen? How many people do you know that are taking prescription meds? Remember, it's not the drug, it's how it's used. I'm not against drugs. I'm against incompetent, juvenile, Machiavellian, monopolistic, harmful medicine sold to you at a profit that doesn't work. Leading cause of death in the United States, MD-directed medicine. Leading cause of bankruptcy, MD-directed medicine. Ever think about that? Why is MD-directed medicine so flippin' expensive? Because it does not work. If you paint over the mold and 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 paint over the mold, sooner or later the side of the house is going to cave in. Because it was water intrusion into the house that was causing the mold to grow. If you don't stop the water intrusion into the house, it's going to get more water, more water, more water, more water, more damage, more damage, more damage, more damage, and then you're going to get an ant infestation. You're going to get wet rot, you're going to get dry rot, and then the whole flipping side of your house is going to fall off. And that's why conventional medicine is so expensive, because it does not fix the root cause of the problem. And your medical doctor stands up in your society as the champion of healthcare, as the go-to person for all things medical, and they do not know what causes heartburn. They do not know what causes arthritis. They do not know what causes type 2 diabetes. They don't know what causes a darn thing. And we genuflect at their altar every month when we write another medical insurance premium check. If you're in Canada, you're screwed. If you're in the UK, you're screwed. They take it right out of your paycheck without, you got no say-so. And they're trying to do that here in the U.S. Make it mandatory for people to buy medical insurance. Well, it is mandatory now. If you don't buy medical insurance, you pay a penalty. I say pay the penalty. But that's another conversation completely. Ladies and gentlemen, we are embedded in a medical matrix. It's inside Alice in Wonderland, right? A medical matrix inside Wonderland. That's what it is. Not Michael Jackson's Wonderland. It's inside out, it's upside down, it's backwards, up is down, left is right, good is bad. Substandard, dangerous, harmful medicine is the best thing that your healthcare dollars can buy. The leading cause of medical doctors that are the leading cause of death are your go-to people for your disease management. Read healthcare. We are all going downhill quickly. And the irony of ironies here is that inside of all of this doom and gloom and death and destruction, there is a way out. It's the naturopathic way. It's science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition for the masses. You don't even need to see a doctor. Not for the first 3 months, not for the first 4, 5, 6 months. If you're suffering with a chronic health condition, you need to educate yourself about what the heck you can do to support your body's ability to cure it. You need to know which foods are hurting you. You need to know which foods are helping you. You need to know how to provide your body with the raw materials it needs to fix itself. You need to know how to support and promote your body's ability to optimize its structure and function. You must attempt to cure. Healing is easy. Surgery is complicated. You don't need a doctor's visit. You don't need to go to a hospital. You don't need a private appointment. You need a little bit of education and then some motivation. I think you're motivated if you're listening to this show. That's what I offer, education. That's what the Dr. Glidden Advocate program is all about on my website, drglidden.com. Click on the Advocate button. Join. Become an advocate. Educate yourself about what you need to do in order to start the ball rolling towards health recovery. My experience is that most of the time, if you're suffering with a chronic health condition, you do our boilerplate foundation medical nutrition program, that's all you need to do. And in a little while, we're going to have testimonials, legal testimonials on the website. Did you know that most health testimonials are illegal? I wonder why. I'm going to sort that out for you. You know why? Because I am your steadfast advocate for health. I'm not taking this lying down, ladies and gentlemen. My people are destroyed by lack of knowledge. Destroyed by lack of knowledge. Well, guess what? There's a new sheriff in town. That's right. You're looking at him. Dr. Peter Glidden, ND. Naturopathic doctor. That's right. Look it up. Naturopath. You don't know what that is? You need to know what that is. Go to drglidden.com, inform yourself. It's time we stood up, dusted ourselves off, and took action steps forward towards health recovery, real health recovery, developed, designed, and delivered by licensed holistic physicians, licensed and regulated holistic physicians, for goodness sakes. This is the next big thing. Medical nutrition for the masses. Check it out, drglidden.com. Become an advocate. Watch, join the webinar tonight, 7 o'clock on obesity. You don't want to miss it. We're going to finish it up in Michigan when we come back. Stick around. Welcome back, Jack. Dr. Peter Glidden. Hope you're learning something today. Because really, there's a lot that you need to know. Let's go to Dave in the Thumb and see what's happening. Hey, Dave, welcome back. How's it going?
Hey, Sheriff, is that a 10-gallon hat you're wearing?
That's a 20-gallon hat, Dave.
I love it. Hey, first of all, Pam and I would like to extend our condolences to you and your lovely fiancée, Brenda. And kudos on the website, kudos on the Mike and Mike show, and kudos on the Dr. Glidden show. We're so thankful every day. We thank Doc Wallach for discovering you, spent from your travels on that bench at that hotel in Washington and inviting you personally to come and see what he does. Because without your voice and longevity, we would still be, just Doc Wallach. Not that Doc Wallach is just a but you are a huge advocate to this cause, and we love you for it. Thank you.
Well, yeah, Dave, you're awesome, man. I appreciate it. And, this is, like my second cousin 8 times removed Benjamin Franklin said, we all must hang together, or most assuredly we will hang alone.
Absolutely. You give me chills.
Yeah, I appreciate your support. How can I help?
Well, I got to tell you, I think you may have to revisit that pass that you're giving the medical community for penicillin. I have a good friend in California, Janet. She's a retired school teacher, but mostly she is a medical researcher for over 20 years. And she believes, through her extensive research on penicillin, that it may be the root cause of cancer.
Son of a gun.
Yeah. I want to get her on your program so you can talk to her, or even, just maybe talk to her off air or something. But she's pretty smart. She knows her stuff, and she really believes that, she's found that smoking gun, and it's penicillin.
Well, that's real interesting. Like the fella said, where did I hear that you don't know what you don't know, right? So
right.
It's an amazing thing, and this does not sound like something that's so far out there that it's not even possible, because the fact of the matter is that antibiotics are designed to specifically kill things, right?
Right.
And it's kind of like if you had if you built a pond in your backyard and it got clogged up, the drain got clogged up, and now you have stagnant water there instead of running water. You'd have mosquitoes in the summer because there's a gazillion mosquitoes in the world and they breed in stagnant water. So if you had a mosquito infestation because you had stagnant water in the pond, an MD would fly over the pond and drop pesticide on it to try to kill the mosquitoes. And that would be effective, but then a couple weeks later, you get more mosquitoes because you still have stagnant water, and now this time the mosquitoes might be a little resistant to the pesticide. They drop more pesticide, you get a stronger bug, more pesticide, you get a stronger bug, you still have stagnant water, and that's why we have antibiotic-resistant diseases now. Because
that is a perfect analogy of what the MD community does.
Yeah, I mean, it's better to drain the pond or, just unclog it so you get fresh water in and then there's no more mosquitoes. I mean, that's what the nature paths do, right? So the overt use of antibiotics, which are, oppositionally defiant, right? It's an oppositionally defiant medicine, must have negative side effects. It must have negative side effects. It must have. Because that's just the nature of the beast. And so it's not so far-fetched for my brain to stretch over in that direction and think, well, son of a gun, this may in fact be one of the unintended consequences of, antibiotic use. I'd love to talk to this woman, so hook me up, brother.
I will, absolutely. And again, you are the smartest guy in class, and I don't know if it's an unintended consequence. Think about that.
Oh, you think it might be? Yeah, I think it might be part of a greater eugenics program. That's
Absolutely.
interesting.
Absolutely.
Isn't that interesting? Well, my head just exploded, Dave. I owe you one. Thanks for the support, Dave. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Keep up the good work in your neck of the woods. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's the night. 7 p.m. Central Time. You want to watch the webinar on obesity and finally crack the code? $2. $2. drglidden.com. Become an advocate. Check out the live webinar tonight. Also gain access to hundreds of hours of archived health webinars available to you right now at drglidden.com. God willing, the creek don't rise. We'll see you next time. Until then, live long and prosper.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Hi, I'm Rick Ossick with Famous Footwear. Did you know that premature birth is the #1 killer of babies? That's why we support the March of Dimes in the fight against premature birth. Join us in supporting cutting-edge research, treatment programs, and outreach to help moms have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. Learn how you can help save babies' lives at marchofdimes.org.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey Guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey Guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products, most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I have an important message. Right now, the highest levels of government are struggling against an inevitable crisis, but they're about to lose control. When this happens, it will rip our country apart in ways you never imagined, from where we shop to the doctors you visit and the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. A few years ago, I warned that the housing prices would collapse. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash, and they did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves, but this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all. I've posted a free video at endofbubble.com. Maybe you'll disagree with my conclusions, but first you need to watch this video and see the facts for yourself. You can watch the video for free right now by going to endofbubble.com. Again, that's endofbubble.com.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
My name is Don Wiskin. In 1994, I lost my 62-year-old father to complications of bypass surgery. In 1977, my 44-year-old brother was found dead in his apartment. He suffered a heart attack. In January of 98, my mother had a stroke and passed away in her bed. 21 days later, my 53-year-old brother passed away on his arrival to the hospital. He waited too long. In June that same year, I almost joined them at 42. What did I do? I took a 7-herb formula I now call Extendivite, made from garlic, cayenne, bilberry, ginkgo biloba, hawthorn, milk thistle, and valerian. Based on German studies of natural medicine, Extendivite is designed to clear blocked arteries, clean the toxins from your blood, and improve your immune system. To get your Extendivite, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. 928-8822 or visit our website, heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
It's time to kick some ash because cigarettes have met their match. Smokers are switching to Vaporite e-liquid by LeSig because when you kick ash, you kick tar and smelly smoke too. LeSig smokes the competition with real people customer service, a 7-day satisfaction guarantee, and same-day fast free shipping. Become a vapor today at LeSig.com, spelled LECIG.com. LeSig e-cigarettes. Kick some ash.
Just recently, we've witnessed some of the most catastrophic disasters in history. Be sure to prepare yourself with great-tasting, high-quality, GMO-free food that has a 25-year shelf life. Of course, we're talking about the foods from SurvivalFoodAlliance.com. And don't forget, the human body needs up to 3 quarts of water every day to remain healthy and hydrated. So check out our water bricks at SurvivalFoodAlliance.com. Go to SurvivalFoodAlliance.com or call 877-223-1776.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, LibertyOnCall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to LibertyOnCall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's LibertyOnCall.org.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
A lot of people's lives and bodies are out of balance. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops optimize pH level and get rid of harmful waste and acid. Just a few drops in water restores vibrance and energy and gets you back in balance. Now order 2 bottles and get $10 off your order. Sign up for monthly auto shipping and save 25%. Call 800-518-7615 or visit alkavision.com. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and bad tweets can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? Reputation.com can protect your good name. Get a free consultation now at 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis from Reputation.com right now. Call 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771.
If you're like me, you're concerned about the stock market and the economy. You're asking the questions, but it just doesn't seem that you're getting the right answers. Well, my friends at the Wealth Preservation Institute not only have the answers, but they've put together a free report, How to Survive the Upcoming Economic Collapse and Protect Your 401ks, IRA savings, and retirement income. Don't hesitate. This report's for free for a limited time by calling 888-772-2929. That's 888-772-2929. Take back your financial lives today.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I have an important message. Right now, the highest levels of government are struggling against an inevitable crisis, but they're about to lose control. When this happens, it will rip our country apart. in ways you never imagined, from where we shop to the doctors you visit and the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. A few years ago, I warned that the housing prices would collapse. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash, and they did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all. I've posted a free video at endofbubble.com. Maybe you'll disagree with my conclusions, but first you need to watch this video and see the facts for yourself. You can watch the video for free right now by going to endofbubble.com. Again, that's endofbubble.com.